Hello everyone, my name is Corazar, and welcome back to the Incomplete Guide to Starsector. As promised, we are back home. After the end of last episode, we ended up basically way out here, and I left off as I was heading back toward the core worlds. I did a couple things along the way. One, of course, I gassed up in Tile. We kind of just barely made it back to the core worlds. And then we had some goods, we had some heavy machinery and some heavy armaments that Crewer needed, so I went there and dropped them off on the way back to our home here. We made a pretty decent penny there, and I made it back to our home here, where I did go and I looked around. We have a makeshift nav buoy and a makeshift comm relay, but we don't have a third stable location. And I was hoping we'd be able to find and have one so we could actually put in the last thing, which is a sensor array, but that's not going to happen. Now, eventually we can fly into our star with a lot of expensive stuff, including an alpha core, and build a new stable location, but that's not for today. Today is all about pirates, because we have some hostile activity going on. We have a pirate base in the Delta Igor system, as you can see it over here. No, you can't really click on it. But we have a pirate base right here that is supplying us with pirates that are doing bad things to our economy. And this is something that if you have a colony, you do need to keep an eye on, and you need to manage it soon, or sooner rather than later, because what will happen is, as your stability drops, as you get to this level and this level and this level, the more your stability goes down, the more it attracts pirates. Same for the larger your colonies are, the more pirates they attract. So what that means is that by getting to these different thresholds, you will actually end up accelerating your progress to the next threshold. So our stability is actually still pretty high here. If we look at our colony, it is still at 10 because we have a lot of things going into it. We have a makeshift comm relay, we have the +6 from the base value, we have the +2 from our personal management bonus being our only colony, we have all of our goods demands are met, and we have ground defenses, and we have patrol headquarters. And so all of that combined gives us a big stability amount, and also, if I can get back to here, it also reduces, by having a patrol HQ, it reduces the hostile activity by 5 for all of your worlds in that system. Now, there are a few things we could do to further increase our stability if we were to end up in a situation where we did get to -2 or -3. And you'll see that in addition to the stability penalty of 2, we would also be increasing our accessibility penalty by an additional 10% for each of these. Now, once you get to this point, you end up with an event that may happen once it reaches this stage. However, if you reduce your hostile activity below that point and back up, you won't get this again. Now, once we get to this part at 200 points of event progress, our colonies would increase their defenses, which does slow down the progression a little bit, but it typically isn't enough. Once you get to this point, you have to have taken action, or you're going to be constantly fighting pirates and kind of going like this, bouncing back and forth between, was this 250 and about 150? Yeah. And then if we get even higher up, then we get extreme impact. Stability is decreased by 4 and accessibility by 40%. And once you get to here, bad things happen, and it gets reset to about here. So you can keep getting bad things happening. So you want to take care of this as soon as you can, as long as it's, a realistic goal, i.e. like if you're not out in the boonies in the sector, then, come back home every few months and take care of things. So we need to go and take out that pirate base, and it is right here. We've not been to this system yet, but I think it would be good to go explore it. And wow, it's just so close to the core world. This is very unusual. That is really close. So to that end, what I have done here is I've done a bit of work behind the scenes, just messing with our ship loadouts, and I wanted to show you what those are. So first of all, I added 2 S mods to our flagship, the Tempest. I moved the hardened subsystems into the built-in mods, and I added hardened shields. This should help us when we are getting up close with our ion pulsar. It should help avoid us overfluxing when we're shooting and getting hit. I also added 5 more capacitors for a maximum of 10, and we now have 1,000 more flux capacity than we did before. So this means we should be able to get up close, unload, and then get out comfortably. And if it still isn't working out, I could probably take off the insulated engine assembly and maybe the armed weapon mounts and add in something like the flux coil adjunct or something. I haven't decided yet, but I don't think it should be necessary. I also went and changed over our hammerhead, at least this one, with this pilot. This one has, they both have safety overrides, I think. Yes, okay, they both do. But I changed this one to a more standard safety overrides loadout, with 2 assault chain guns and 2 light dual machine guns. So these all have very high damage outputs and reasonable efficiency. This is actually pretty good efficiency for a high explosive weapon, and these are ridiculously efficient. Look at that, 0.12 flux per point of damage. So against shields, these machine guns are great. However, their range is tiny. It's 300. Now with safety overrides, that limits our range effectively to about 450, because anything beyond 450 gets reduced by 90%. So in general, you're really not going to see ranges past 500, maybe 520 or so. So we have a bit of a range mismatch here. We have 450 and 300, and there isn't a whole lot we can do about that. We could maybe add in the integrated targeting unit and then use a story point to build it in. But I think the better thing is I want to wait to see if this guy levels up in the next battle, and we'll give him the point defense skill and make it elite, because if we do, it extends the range of point defense weapons by 200. Well, the machine gun is a point defense weapon in the primary role there. So that would give this a range of 500, which would basically get matched to just about 450, or 455, I guess. And that would be a perfect combination for this ship here. And I want to see it happen, so let's hope it does. I don't think I made any changes here. Our poor Condor, which reminds me, we have a name for our Condor. Where is the... here we go. So we got a name from Lewis Ed GM, or Lewis Ed Gem. It is Easy Target, because it sure is an easy target, which is a real shame because, well, okay, it is my fault. It is totally my fault for not supporting this thing properly, and shame on me for not doing that, honestly. But yeah, it has been a pretty easy target this whole time, and our poor officer hasn't really gotten a whole lot of experience because of that. It just keeps getting blown up. So, yep, that's an oopsie on my part. I do think it's going to be worth it to probably put, like, our Gremlin and maybe, like, one of our unofficered Tempests on this to keep other things away, especially frigates. These guys should be able to deal with frigates no problem. And frigates tend to be what cause your slower carriers a lot of grief. I also came in here and I made some changes to a couple of our other ships. So we picked up a Mule last episode, and we've had this 14th Battle Fleet Eagle sitting around since we stopped at Sentinel, which is the sort of off-the-grid, stranded hegemony people. And I didn't actually do anything with this guy. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Just to bring it along for extra oomph, but this thing is in rough shape. Yeah, this thing is in pretty bad shape, and I'm kind of running low on useful things to put on that, so I think I'm going to leave it behind for now. But the Mule I turned into a basic artillery support. We have some sabots, we have some light dual autocannons that do have an overlapping arc with the heavy mortar at the front, and you can go two ways. You can turn this into a missile boat, and it's okay at that, but it ends up in a situation where it kind of shoots all its missiles and then is useless. So I don't prefer that method of building these. Now, the Eagle is a more interesting beast. This is basically a glorified laser pointer. However, I like to put phase lances on these turrets here, because that way it's not going to typically get very close. We have 1,000 range here, 800 here, we have 1,000 range here. This is going to sit back comfortably and just shoot from a distance. These are here to annoy frigates and pop them, hopefully, if they get too close. On top of that, these ion cannons will also help take care of frigates that get too close. So this thing is designed for long range, but if things do close with it, it can handle itself pretty well. Of course, it is also pretty badly banged up, so we'll see how that goes. So this weapon flux per second is kind of deceptive because these two are typically not going to be shooting. In fact, most of these 5 shouldn't be shooting most of the time. And that is that as far as our fleet goes. I'm going to drop this guy back off. Farewell. I am going to bring a few more crew if we have any more sitting around here. In our stockpile, we do not. Do I want to take some crew with me? Let's bring an extra 100 in case we blow up a ship or two and we need to cart some ships back home. Another 50, just for good measure. And we are, of course, also bringing along our Marines with us, and that's because we are going to go and visit this pirate base before we actually blow it up. So I think we should go ahead and get going to Delta Igor, because we only have a little while longer before a certain bounty is removed from it. It isn't a big bounty, and pirate bases typically don't have great bounties. 40,000 is pretty typical. I think I've seen up to like 60, maybe 80. But pirate bases are also in pretty bad repair typically, so we'll see that when we get there, but I'll show you what that means. And we can, of course, go and take care of this pirate base after the bounty expires, but you know, we're going to be spending money to take care of the base in the first place, so having a bounty is just nice. I'll see all of you when we're there. And we're there. So here we have the fringe jump point. We're going to probably get a warning. No, okay. We're going to go dark as we go in. We have a pirate fleet. We have a makeshift sensor array. And I'm going to go straight for that. This guy's probably going to follow us the whole way, aren't you? Yeah, you are. That's okay, though. And we are going to immediately introduce false readings into the data feed. This, as we've done before, this will cause the pirate fleets in the system to kind of just go everywhere, and they won't stay as close to the pirate base because they're looking for blips in the radar that we have provided them. Of course, we are moving really slow in this cloud here. I'm going to leave that for later. We don't want to bang up our ships before we're ready. So let's get going here. And there is probably a pirate base right around the middle of the star, isn't there? Yep, there it is. Okay, so we have a poor, lonely pirate base out here. And let's stop here. Hovering over it, you can see the icon in the middle there. It shows like a base that's kind of lopsided on the left side there. That's because pirate bases they're typically missing a section of the star base that they're based on to make them a bit easier. But as you can see, since we have our transponder off, we can go ahead and dock here. We can visit the bar. Ooh, we can check out the guy with the paper book. An Enforcer 14th Battle Fleet, Storm Needler, nah. Let's give him a donation and see what better things he comes up with next time. That seems to be the way to go. We can check the comm directory. No one here to hire. We can talk to the Station King. We can, if we want to, pay them a lot of money of from our colony to basically reduce the amount of pressure they put on our colonies in general. So I'm going to ignore the deal, or decline it, and we will go and just go shopping for a bit. They have nothing huge here that I really want. Most things of these are going to be at regular market price, so you won't find anything too crazy price-wise here. I am going to buy these arbalests because they're a good budget option. We have plenty of Atropos, long-range PD lasers, yes. Sabos, not salamanders. I was looking at these. And I think we have enough MIRVs, but you know what? I'll take one. Granted, we only have like 0 ships that can mount that MIRV, but once we do, we'll want these. And I think that should be pretty good. We can check out their ships for sale. Usually junk. I wouldn't mind one of these, though. You have... you're so-so. The black market. Hey, we could buy a new Condor. What do you think, guys? Should I buy a new Condor? We can blow up 2 Condors each battle. Be perfect. And then, the other thing you can do once you're at these pirate bases is you can consider your military options. We could go ahead and engage a station right away, and they have no friends here, so we have a pretty easy time against it. But you can also launch raids, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to acquire valuables, because disrupting the operations is mostly for if you want to go to hegemony and mess up their industry or some part of their economy to give your colonies an advantage or to create a demand somewhere else. But I'm going to try to acquire valuables because these bases are typically military. So we can get ship equipment from these guys. And you'll see if we assign 7 out of our 9 available marine forces, then we can expect minimal casualties, and we'll get about 20,000 credits worth of ship equipment that we may not have been able to buy on the market here. So yeah, you see in the green there it says the colony has a military presence and high-tier equipment may be found. So what does this say here? 1 marine is available for every 10% rate effectiveness. Oh, okay. Alright. Well, I think we'll keep it at minimal. We could go up to light and get a couple extra 1,000 credits worth of stuff, but let's stay at minimal, because keeping some in reserve will reduce your casualties by 5% per unit you keep back. So we're reducing them by an additional 10%. Let's go. We will launch the raid. We don't care about keeping it secret because they're pirates. We did lose 9 Marines. And we got, as you can see, a whole bunch of stuff that we couldn't have gotten from the market. Ooh, Typhoon Reapers, IR Auto Lances, and some Mark 9 autocannons. Cool. I'll take it. And now we go and engage the station. So we are going to... You know what? I am going to probably transfer command. We are going to go in the big ship because we want to have as many ships with big bulky shields as possible. And that would be our cruisers here. Possibly this guy as well, though I think he is... Oh, he has a shield. Okay, I didn't remove it. So we want basically these 4 ships, maybe these 5 with the Medusa up front and kind of taking the brunt of everything. And our monitor, of course. Because otherwise, if all of our little ships go in one by one, they're going to get really wrecked. Let's go into battle. I'm going to deploy all. I'm going to keep back our Tempest in case we need it. And probably, honestly, our phase ships are going to struggle because they don't have shields. And we'll leave one of the Omens out. And this is probably overkill. But I do want to give our officers plenty of experience. And I figure we can throw these in and we'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is I want all of our little unshielded ships or lesser shielded ships to stay back, because they're just going to run in and get slaughtered quickly. So we're going to have them rally here. You know what? I'm going to change this to defend. But I don't want you guys defending it. I want all of you with me. There we go. Now, and you guys here. There we go. So what we'll do is, once we get up far enough that we can see the base, I will remove that restriction on them defending this spot, and that way our rather trigger-happy and uncareful hammerheads will come join us then, once we've set up a bit of a perimeter here. All right, everybody else who needs to come with me, get up here. You guys coming? You are coming, okay. So we're going to have... yeah, we're going to send out our Medusa, not our Medusa, our Eagle in. Our mule's going to stick with us. And then we will send ourselves in with everybody else. Like so. Medusa, you need to just stay back, buddy. Why are you just taking it now? Medusa, get back here. Get back here right now. I don't want you going alone. Sometimes these ships just don't know what they want to do. Alright, Medusa, you're doing great. Yep, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for listening so well. Well, bye, Medusa. And that is why we don't want all of our ships to run in onesie-twosie, like they just did, and get killed. But the Medusa did exactly that. I don't know why it chose to do that. It had better options. Oh, we have no command points available. Well, we're going to do that then. There we go. I was a bit careless with those command points. I'm just going to dodge some of these guys. And here we have the Pirate Starbase. This is the lowest level of Starbase available. This is the high-tech version. It has a lot of energy weapons, especially laser pointers, aka beam weapons. These are all graviton beams, so these will reduce the effectiveness of our shields while we are under attack by them. So we will need to watch our shields. But as you can see, we're already taking a decent amount of flux on our shields. And that's why we want to make sure that we get most of our ships, and you guys are being slow, up here as soon as we can. So we're going to, we're going to shield for these guys. And there we go. Okay. We're going to target this guy, and you'll see it rotates. So we're going to kind of stay... Do you mind? Sheesh. We're going to try to stay on this side of it, so that we're not taking the fire from two portions of this base at once. Like, these guys are being kind of stupid over here, but they'll do that. And we will be recovering plenty of ships this battle, I don't doubt. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait over here, because this shield is going to swing around. It kind of rotates faster than the rest of the base does. And you... Okay, you retreat. Oh, I can't retreat. Anybody? Okay, whatever. Go ahead and die, guys. See if I care. But now, see, we can kind of get underneath the shield, and our ion pulsar can really shut down a lot of their weapons here, as our Omen does the same thing through their shields, which is amazing. We're going to go ahead and fire off some missiles. Yep. Look at that. This thing is taking tons of damage, which is perfect. It's what we want to do. Down you go, buddy. That's right. That's right. Eat it. All right. There we go. All right, you can stop shooting now. Oh well, whatever. And now we have this section. Those little nubs that are breaking off, they help with certain things on the station, so if you can take them out, you should. They're not imperative, though. Let me get around here. Come on, get in front of the shields. This thing does have a fortress shield, which is kind of annoying. So it will, oh, there we go. It will absorb a lot of damage. So we lost, yep, oh, an Omen. Omen and the Medusa, hopefully they're easy. Yes, they are. Alright. and we picked through the wreckage. And we got more supplies than we... Well, aside from having to recover ships, we're getting more supplies back than we invested in the first place. And we get a good number of the weapons that were on that base, including some big lasers, which is pretty cool. We'll take it all. We got a skill point, which is great. Our officers didn't level up, which is interesting. Okay. And we can also, of course, scavenge. And now we're pretty much at equilibrium on the supply output. Now we did, over here, we got paid. I think it's kind of gone here. Here we go. We got 40,000 credits and some more relationship with the Independents. And of course we got a little bit of pay from our Tritachyon overlords. So that is sort of the basics of a pirate base. Not too tough. Of course, we struggled a little bit there with some of our smaller ships, and I do wish that the escort command worked a little bit better. It needs some serious help, in my opinion. There's a few pirates left. I think what we can do here is we can head to... Let's see, we have a pirate base bounty up here, and a personal bounty up here with basically cheese ships. I think we should go and tackle these two. One, to reduce pirate activity further, and also just to get the bounties, and also, again, to get some more experience for us, and, critically, for our officers. Because I want to get these guys leveling up as soon as we can, and getting them some new skills, especially our blowy-uppy Condor, who actually made it this time, which is amazing. And I think she gained 0 experience that battle. Great. Alright. So, let's go and level ourselves up first. Let's see. I was thinking, I do want to move up into support doctrine pretty quickly, but I also see a need to get hull restoration going on because we need to start fixing up our ships. This is a skill that will, once per month, remove a random demod from a random ship in your fleet, and this isn't the most demods I've ever had in a fleet, but it's pretty high. And what did you get? You got glitch sensor array? That's fine. Perfectly fine. What I might try next battle, I might try deploying all of our slower ships, like the Enforcer and then our cruisers, and not the Medusa. And then maybe 10 seconds in the battle, I'll bring in everybody else as reinforcements. That might actually work better. I haven't really tinkered with that much in 0.96. The AI in 0.95, I think, was a little bit better in that regard. You didn't have single Medusas rush up quite as much. Especially given a steady personality, I'm kind of surprised that this officer did that. And now you have sensor array, structural damage, great, and erratic fuel injector, double great. Excellent. Way to go, Captain. Say sneeringly. So I think I want to move up this tree. Now, I normally like to get things like salvaging and field repairs, because this gives you a free, importantly, and fast repair on your ships, which is great. But I'm kind of feeling like we might want to buff up our flux stats for our flagship, the Tempest. So this will give us 2 more flux dissipation per ordnance point that we spend on weapons, and if we use a story point to make it elite, we get an extra 20 flux capacity per ordnance point spent on weapons. So I think we'll do that, and that will let us continue moving up this row here toward our goal of hull restoration. And if we end up getting some more officers, I might sort of take a break and continue up the leadership progression, but we'll see. This should, however, help our own ship pretty well. And let's go ahead and confirm and take a look at our ship here. See, we gained almost 500 capacity from that, and about 48 flux dissipation. So, all in all, not too shabby. It's definitely better on bigger ships, but even for our little flagship, it'll definitely help. So, let's get up to... I always mess up these menus here. We're going to go up to... Is this in Sentinel? Oh, Shistriel, okay. Good old Shistriel. Snip no credits. I love that name. Well, let's go. Okay. And this, of course, will also garner us some more rep with our home faction, which means we can buy better and better ships from them. You know, while we're here, let's take care of this domain probe. We could use a few more supplies, and I think we can go ahead and take these out with relative ease. Let's go ahead and... will I transfer command? You know what? Let's just go in ourselves. We will take our unwounded ships, which is actually most of them. And that should do. That's probably overkill, but again, I keep losing the Condor, so you follow the Condor. Follow your heart. Alright. Hey, buddy. Bye. Even with that small boost in capacity and venting, we are already doing a lot better. Let's get this guy here. Pew! There we go. That was overkill, but I didn't want to let the Condor twist in the wind. And a different officer gained level. Okay. Alright, Condor, you do you. We got the location of a domain era derelict survey ship. Cool. Get our salvage. Double tap. And now we're doing pretty good. We can go ahead and level up one of our officers here. Who was it? You. Ah, you. Okay, please have point defense. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, oh, yes. I wouldn't mind combat endurance or damage control either, but man, getting this and then making point defense elite will make those machine guns come into play even a little bit sooner, which is perfect. Now that would normally be a pretty gross skill on a ship that isn't covered in point defense weapons, but for an SO hammerhead with machine guns as a main weapon, it's actually quite useful. So let's get out of here, and let's resume our course. Oh no, that's not good. So we just got a new bounty here that's in the same general area that we're going, and it is near a barren bombarded world in a system with an orange primary star in this constellation. Now we're going to a place with an orange primary star. Now there are 4 of them, but there is a decent chance that this guy is right here, which would be really bad. 2 Paragons, which are the biggest, baddest high-tech ships in the game, and Odyssey, which is like the second biggest, baddest high-tech ship in the game. 2 Dooms. Oh man. This would be a tough fleet for any level of play, I think. Personally, these are just such tough nuts to crack. Wow, okay. Well, we're going to attempt this and just hope that this guy doesn't show up where we're going. We are going to definitely not be just hopping in on top of a planet this time, though. So here's Shistriel. Now we do know information about Shistriel. We have a barren world and a desert world, so he's not in the system after all. Okay. That's a bit better to know. So we can hop in here, and we're relatively safe from our bounty that we're not taking. So is it really our bounty? Hi guys! Yeah, that's what I thought. Now we want to find Oh, they do have a sensor array. Let's go mess with them. Another pirate base. That one's farther away. I should, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, mention that when we look back over at the hostile activity, our colony impact has dropped back to minimal. As you can see, we're down at 12, and we actually have a running -2 here, because now there is no pirate base in the area, and so it's going to keep going down as our portal HQ actually is greater than the amount of presence and instability we have in the system. And for destroying that pirate base, we got a one-time -40. So we went from 50 couple down to a dozen. And that is the whole game here. Like you want this to stay as low as possible. You really don't want this progressing. In contrast, this one you do want to progress over time, as you'll get better navigation and mobility in hyperspace, and you'll also occasionally get some free credits basically for just driving around hyperspace. So let's go ahead and take out this pirate base. Not seeing many fleets coming out of this guy. Or any. Oh, there's a couple. Let's swing back here. I'm going to turn this off. We'll go dark. They know we're here, but they don't know we're messing with their sensor array. Off you go. Bye, boys. That would be a very doable fleet, but in conjunction with the pirate base, that might actually be a problem. Now these guys might just flee when we get close. It's a solar flare. We don't want that happening. So, once again, we're going to take a peek around here. Underworld bounties. We have an officer. Field modulation who's reckless. I'm kind of more in the market for like aggressive than reckless, so I'm going to just skip on him. We could, of course, grab him and retrain him into aggressive, but I don't really feel like spending more story points than we already had today. And again, kind of the same stuff as the last one. We don't really need much here. Maybe a few more assault chain guns for our second hammerhead, eventually. And once again, ooh, erratic fuel injector, maintenance and engines, and a lot worse. This is an interesting one. I'm tempted to buy this one. This just increases the fuel per light year cost. This is an interesting capital ship. It's not... You don't pilot it like a regular capital ship. This is like for long-range support. But you know what? For getting up into our first capital ship, it's not bad. And we do have drovers here. You know what? This would be a good chance for us to tinker around with some ships that we haven't played with yet. So I think I am going to go ahead and we're going to buy this Atlas. Yep. We're also going to go ahead and buy the Drover, because we have been hurting for a second carrier anyway. And we're not going to use them in this battle, but what we'll do is I'll drag them home, and I will outfit them between episodes, hopefully, if we have enough stuff to put on them. And then we'll bring at least the Drover with us, and we'll see how it fares in comparison to our Condor. Granted, our Condor is in pretty rough shape, so the Drover might just do better by default because it has no D-mods. Now, we do need some more crew just to keep everything running properly. We need a few more just to stay above water in case we lose some. Let's buy like 300 or so. There we go. And get some fuel while we're here. And since we're here, there's a funny little thing you can do. We have some blueprints here that we already know, and if you really, really want to, you can make pirate battles more difficult for you, but also more potentially lucrative if you're looking to pick up some damaged hulls afterwards. So you can sell these on the black market, or on the open market at pirate bases, and what will happen is the pirate faction, the whole faction, will then get access to whatever you sell them. In this case, Gauss cannons, or all of these midline ships. Herons, Falcons, Drovers, Geminis, Sunders, all that kind of stuff. And I think for this, I think I am going to sell both of these on the black market because it might be nice to be able to pick up some Gauss cannons after pirate battles, as well as seeing more varied ships in their fleets and being able to maybe get them, because all they typically have are the Colossus Mark IIs. They have any here today? These guys, and these are terrible, terrible carriers. They're so awful. But a heron, a pirate heron that we fix up, that's a bit more attractive. So let's go ahead and do our military options. Let's launch a raid, get some valuables, some ship equipment, of course. And there we go from minimal to light, so we will hold back 3 this time. We'll get 24,000 credits again. And let's do it. What do we get? Heavy machine guns. Nothing terribly crazy this time around. This is kind of lame, honestly. I have gotten better things before. And once again, we can engage this station. So, let's do it. We are... I think once again we'll transfer command to our Fury. And I am going to do what I threatened to do, which is deploy our ships with good shields and such, and that are not super duper fast. I probably should have outfitted the drover real quick before we came to battle, just to get it in here. And you're cautious. You should hang back anyway. We'll see how that goes. We'll start with this, and I'm going to give it about 10 seconds, and I'll deploy everybody else, basically. So, let's roll. Okay, there we go. About 10 seconds. Let's deploy all of our other ships. You're fine. All of our officered ships, of course, and then let's bring out the monitor and one of our omens. You know what? We don't need the omens. I think they'll just get blown up again. And although we do have some more ships on the field, so let's bring out a couple of these other smaller ships after all. There we go. And I want you to get right up in here in his face and just be a real big annoyance. Actually, you know what? Cancel that. Can I just have you harass him? Oops, harass. Nah. We'll engage. I want you right up and personal. And once we see some other ships pop up, I will assign these guys to go and tackle them. Although, you know what? Maybe we will pair these up a bit. Let's do that. And let's do that. And we'll set you on Search and Destroy. This will go and try to find things to kill, as will you. The rest of us will take care of the station. Alright, and off we go. Now is this the same kind? Ah, this is a midline station. This is a bit different. So midline stations have, as you can see, they have a lot of long-range missiles, and they have fighter bays. And this time they have piranhas with these unguided bombs. Okay, missiles are going by. They're flaring out. Ooh. Ooh boy. So these are Pelums, which are a bit annoying. Why is your shield down, buddy? Now this one is not missing any of its, or either of its sides, which is kind of unusual. That means this is a sort of better outfitted pirate base. So we're going to have to be kind of careful because these actually rotate faster, which is an advantage in this battle because it's harder to really focus fire on these guys. Do a quick vent, which I probably shouldn't be doing. As you can see, yeah, they're harder to focus fire, but we'll take care of them eventually. Let's fire off some of these harpoons. try to stay on this side if we can. Oops, didn't mean to fire those just yet, but it worked out for the best. We're doing pretty okay here. Except for our poor enforcer, who is getting pretty well trounced by that... Yeah. By that wolf. And our condor is at least not dead yet. That's a plus. Okay, I think we're doing okay here. Oops. A little too close there. Let's scoot around this way. Oop. Oh dear. I got a little too spicy there. Worked out okay though. Managed to not die. Let's zip up here. We do want to keep this thing's flux up if we can, and just fire away. Oh my. Let's go ahead and vent a bit. There we go. Okay, their fighters and their missiles are down, so those will become less of a threat. Alright. Your turn, buddy. Your turn. Just gonna sit here and scoot around in a circle. And these do have tons of armor, but they'll go down eventually. Oh, would you get out of the way, Medusa? Thank you. I'm going to back off. And let's lose some of that flux. And I'll just wait for this to come around again, I think. Because we're all kind of like waiting like sharks in the water. There we go. This is pretty well spoken for, I think. Oh, Eagle needs to back off there. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Oh, it's getting close to use its lances there. I don't like that too much. The phase lances. I might pull those off then. Oh, because we have aggressive set. That's right. So, that time we lost no ships, which is perfect. Oh wait, did we? No. This is enemy ships. I want none of them. And pick through the wreckage. Got a lot of good stuff here today. Let's take it. I think we're going to be a little bit over. We'll leave some medals behind. And we got, let's see, Malka Olympus is ready to level up. I'm not sure which officer that is. And then we also have a potential officer promotion candidate from within our ranks. That's a decent option, but I don't know. That does require a story point. So there we go. All done. Let our ships do some repairs, and then we will check out this debris cloud, and we'll take it. And there we go. So let's see. How are our ships doing overall? We should be pretty good before the next battle. So I think what we'll do is let's go try to find this bounty. We want to find this bounty. Whoa, we don't want to find that bounty. Nope. Did we lose a bounty here? Barren World, Giant Primary Star. Okay. Barren World, Orange Primary Star. Okay. So, we want to find this bounty, but not this bounty. And not that bounty. So, Barren World, Barren Bombarded. Barren Bombarded. Let's go up to Beerith, because we're going to the Giant Primary Star. And let's just see... Oops, no, let's go to this one. We're going here to Beerith. Let's see what is there for us. So we have a low warning beacon. Let's take a quick save here. Have we been in here yet? We have. Okay, so we do have a barren bombarded world in here. I don't like that, because you are near a barren bombarded world. So let's take a peek at the map here. Rocky Metallic, barren bombarded, barren. Let's pop in over at this jump point here. And we'll fly down there. I want to avoid that planet if possible. That's probably right where our Paragon bounty is waiting. Discovered a debris field. Okay. Some free salvage, why not? Kind of garbage salvage, but okay. There's a second debris field there. That was weird. Really? Interesting. Luxury goods. Okay. Let's go ahead and run down here. We should be looking at this planet, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So a decent-sized pirate fleet. As you can see, they of course have the terrible Colossus Mark IIs or Mark IIIs, I forget which they are. But this should be a pretty simple fleet for us to take on. They give us the finger. I don't know why you guys think you can compete here. This is not going to go well for you. I say. Yeah. Okay, so, again, all of our officer ships are heading in, and then we want you, and I am going to bring in... I'll bring in you for the extra fire support, and because we have so many fighters, we're going to bring in you too. Debating, this might be overkill. Then again, there is no kill like overkill. Tell you what, we'll deploy after if we need to. I don't think we will. We do have our Aurora, which is more than a match for any of their ships. I want an Omen on me. I want an Omen on you. And I want you to just go hang out here. Just go there, dude. And then we're going to grab this. And we'll grab you, why not? And then the rest of us head here. Off we go. It's good being in the fast ship again. Someone did recommend that I put on the speed up mod for Starsector, which would let us speed through combat a little bit, especially these early parts. But I find myself needing the time to think a lot more. And also, I have a hard enough time not overflexing as it is. I wouldn't want to be in a situation where I'm like getting way too far ahead of myself and just getting in too much trouble. Like this. This is too much trouble right here already. Getting outflanked. Bad idea. What do we got here? Okay. Not much going on yet, but we will try to... Here we go. Hey, buddy. You're dead. Done. Oh, it's just you still. This frigate here just like, neener, neener, neener. You want to talk neener, neener, neener? Well, here comes the big bad Tempest. Hey, buddy. Yep, goodbye. Oh, they're all down here. What the heck? Okay. You guys... Yeah, you guys just... whatever. You... come hang out, like, right there. Just attract their attention. And... yeah, you should probably also go... to about there, and just... yeah, you'll see. You'll see why I'm sending you there. Not to worry. And yep, it has to do with those fighters. Wow, look at all those bombs coming through. My goodness. That's pretty nuts. Ooh. That might be a bit too toasty for us, too. Yeah, it's a little toasty. Yep. Okay. Phase ships with pilots. Ugh. The worst. There's no worse thing to deal with than phase ships. Let me tell you. Oh my goodness. What a mess. What a bona fide mess. Alright. Let's see what we got here. I hope you're not wussing out and just not engaging. You're doing okay. With all these fighters, I am going to bring in this guy. Yeah, just an extra ship should be fine. We'll ignore that for now. Woo! Keep those shields up. My goodness. That's our ship. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, back up, back up, back up. Incoming fighters. Alright, Condor, you need to back up too. Where even are you? You're here? Yeah, you need to back up, buddy. I want you just to go there. I will try to screen for you, but no guarantees whatsoever. Yeah, eat it, buddy. Whoop. There we go. That mule might be retreating, I'm not sure. You are... Are you something we can take care of? Maybe. So this is one of those cases where we are in a frigate that might be able to bully this thing pretty well. Yeah, we can bully it, although these broadswords are going to make our day a lot less fun. Yep, goodbye, 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 goodbye. Woof. Okay, so we don't need you. We don't need you. You? Oh, you're almost dead. Okay, you, I want you to just seek and destroy. But not that way. Oof. You come over here. I want the three of you, or the two of you, to take out him and him. Yep, you, however, get to come up here and just fly around and be annoying. Medusa's doing okay. Get rid of this guy. You're now back to being in okay shape. I want the two of you to actually get up and do things. You know, we're going to get rid of that order. Now, why are you... I said I want you, and I want you. There we go. I don't know why that one kept pointing way across there. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so let's see here. Ah, you again. We meet again, old friend. Yep. Look at that, a frigate bullying a cruiser. Yep, you'd love to see it. And you're dead, buddy. That is why I enjoy the Tempest. Granted, these are, you know, really junky ships we're fighting here, but feels good, man. Feels good. Warp. Uh-oh, more broadswords. Goodbye, guys. Yep, disabled. 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 Sneak our little way up here. Oh, more broadswords. Ugh, no. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. You go away too. And up goes your flux. That's right. Oof, oof. I think we're still okay. We took a few EMP hits from those Pelums, but I think we're okay. Oop, clunk. Oh yeah, you dead. Now you real dead, Condor. Let me teach you about Condors, buddy. What happens when they get in battle. Alright, what is left? Not much. Let's go take care of these guys. This guy's trying to retreat. I'd like to not let him do that, but he might get there before we get to him. Maybe not. Yep, up and down. Your shields go. Goodbye. And last one. Oh, you're dead. Toast. Is there anything else? Nope, that was it. Okay. So they got one retreated. That was the mule we fought earlier. Let's get our second in command to take that down. Just take out a couple of these guys. I'll take him. Got him. Any ships worth recovering? No. And we got plenty of goodies to bring home. Leave some medals here. And... we got level ups finally. Okay. Get some repairs going on. And salvage again. Don't mind if I do. Excellent. Let's do a quick set of level ups. We have a couple officers who need leveling up. What do you have? Ooh, probably field modulation. Yep, we'll do that. We want that on a carrier, and who else is leveling up here? Malka Olympus. Alright, what do you have? Damage control, ordnance expertise. Why are you getting ballistic mastery? You have no ballistics on that entire ship. That's very weird. Gunnery implants is pretty good. Damage control I don't like as much. I like impact mitigation more than damage control. And this is decent, but it's better with elite. So I think we're going to go for gunnery implants, which would give her better range and target leading accuracy for turrets and things, and reduce weapon recoil. The range is actually pretty nice. It's a big one. There we go. And that is everyone. Okay, so that was a big bounty hunting session there, everyone. And that went pretty well. We lost a couple ships here and there, but we got them back. And we are not going to tackle this this bounty ever. This one is one we could possibly do. Maybe. These giant bricks they're weird. They take forever to kill, but they're usually pretty easy to take on. I'm just not sure we have the bulk of our fleet to handle this and these other pretty meaty ships. So I think we'll hold off on this too. But everyone, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know what you think of our pirate fighting prowess in the comments, and I'll meet you all back when we are home and ready to tackle, I think, some story missions now. We've started some of them, but I think it's time for us to just go ahead and start getting into the real story of the game and following the Galatia Academy missions. So I think we'll start that, and as we progress through the game, we will have to come back from time to time to handle issues around our home base here, especially as we start to expand, adding more colonies, as well as our single colony expands, it will also attract more pirates and other threats too. Anyway, everyone, as always, my name has been Corazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.